Hello and welcome back to another episode of Ruining Your Childhood.
Welcome back to another episode of Ruining Your Childhood, one sculpt at a time. Today we're going to be sculpting a little bit of a bad boy, or should I say monkey. That's right, we're going to be sculpting Mojo Jojo, so buckle in. First, start off with a juicy ball of clay that we kind of roll out and then flatten both ends. We're going to make it kind of oblong. And after that, we're going to take a chunk of clay, applying that to the front. It's going to make up his front snout / mouth region. Using our fingers, we're going to smooth that bad boy down until it's one cohesive piece. Kind of looks like a mushroom right now. Tap that top. That way we have a flat surface to put on his little brain protector. I'm not even sure what it's called. For his eyeballs, we're going to go ahead and use a big ball stylus to kind of hollow out some holes. Then using some pre-baked balls, we're going to shove those in there. And once we got that, we could kind of adjust the eyebrow ridge a bit to make him a little more menacing. Now that Mojo Jojo's eyes are in their proper positions, we could start building up the detail around it. I rolled out a thin piece of tapeworm, then sliced off a nice slice to put on top of his nose and underneath his eyes. This is going to be his eye bags and kind of build up the snarl look that we're going for. Every set of face balls needs a good lid to cover them, so we're going to go ahead and do that by slicing off a thin piece of skin flap and laying that gingerly over top before using our fingers to blend it all together. His nose starts off with that Voldemort special, getting 2 holes jabbed into his face using my small ball stylus. And then take a small piece of tapeworm, making an M shape, going around those circles to build up the outer portion of his nose. Blend that all in and then we're good to go. Moving on to Monkey's mouth, I take my X-Acto knife, slicing out a good grin before clearing it out with some ball styluses and then refining the shape with some silicone tools. He was looking a bit too much like E.T., so we're going to have to bring out his eyebrow ridge a little bit more. Rolled out another piece of tapeworm, just laying that on top, blending it all together. I then use a variety of different ball styluses to go around the face, adding different textures and pores to really help bring this bad boy to life. I actually kind of felt bad for Mojo Jojo when I was growing up, because the Powerpuff Girls used to beat the hell out of this guy. His brains all hanging out, it was brutal what they would do to him. Anyway, now that monkey's all gussied up, we could start adding his teeth. I made these by taking some translucent clay, then rolling them out to little points, pre-baking them. Just makes it a little bit easier shoving it into the face so they don't lose their shape. Once I'm happy with his jagged smile, I could go ahead and pop it in the oven for its first bake. And with Mojo Jojo back and baked, we could go ahead and start working on that dome of his. And to make this dome, I go ahead and take another ball of clay that I roll out into a tube shape, slicing off one end until we got that perfect dome shape. I then go around the perimeter with a ball stylus, blending the clay back into the head. I'm not going to be too fancy with this because we are going to be covering it up with a piece of clay. And now that we got that dome up on that dome, we could go ahead and slice out this little piece of clay here. I'm going to be trying to cut out that little front piece, making it match on both sides. Once I'm happy with the shape, we could go ahead and wrap that around the front, making sure I keep it nice and tight. Then after blending it in with my fingers, we could go ahead and start installing those gems. And to achieve this look, all I did was take my ball stylus, pressing it into the clay, leaving some indents before taking some pre-baked balls, shoving those into those indents, and calling it good. As for the little purple rings that go around his helmet, I'm going to actually build these up using a thin piece of tapeworm that I wrap around following the shape of the, purple lines. I'm not really sure the purpose of these things, but that's how I did it. I didn't want to draw them in. I like things to have a little bit of texture and some three-dimensionality and makes them pop a little bit more. Now that I'm happy with how those came out, I just go ahead and flatten the top. It makes it a little bit easier to paint later on. Now that we're done with that, we could go ahead and start on his ears. Now this guy could stop looking like a gremlin. He can start maybe looking more like a monkey. All I did was taking a flattened out piece of clay, slicing it in half, kind of cutting out an ear shape, size checking it, and then using it as a stencil to make the other side. After that, I just took some ball styluses, drawing in some rough ear shape before applying that back to the side of the face. And after blending those ears back into the side of the head, we could go ahead and put Mojo Jojo in for another bake. Now that bad boy Jojo's back from his bake-off, we could go ahead and start on his body. Taking a ball of clay, I kind of roll it out with a slight taper just to give the body a little bit of shape. I then cram the head into that body to kind of leave a little bit of a groove for me to use later. And then it's on to his outer shoulder pad look. The classic villain, making your shoulders look bigger than they really are. That way you can skip the gym. I flatten out a piece of poncho that I lay over top of him. Then I stick that head back on top, matching it up with the groove I made before. I then take my X-Acto knife, making precision cuts to give him that signature shoulder pad look, matching it on the back side. Once I have those perfectly executed, I could use my fingers to blend in the bottom, giving him a little bit of a snatched waist. I do insert a little piece of armature wire to help hold the head on and make it a little bit easier for assembling later, before working on his belt. For this, I just cut out a thin piece of skin flap that I wrap around the bottom, making sure that I keep it nice and flat and straight, cutting off the back portion, smoothing it out, and calling it good. As for his belt buckle, I flattened out another piece of clay, cutting out a triangle. I then apply that triangle to the front of his body. Using a flat silicone sculpting tool, I then draw a smaller triangle on the inside of that triangle to give it a little bit more of embellishment. And now that I'm happy with how this portion of the body's looking, we could go ahead and put it in the oven, but first I do put these little pieces of tinfoil inside to make sure I don't lose his shoulder shape. Now that his body's back and baked, I go ahead and give it that flick test, and we can move on to making his legs. Now, if you've seen this channel before, you probably know what's up when it comes to making legs. Take a piece of wire, cover it with some goop, cover that goop up with some clay. This time we're gonna go a little bit thicker. He's a thick-thighed... He's got thick boots. All right. Now that we got him all caked up and smoothed out, we can start adding that skirt portion of his shirt. I sloppily throw on a piece of flattened out clay before wrapping it around his snatched waist, cutting off the excess clay on the back. Then I use a soft sculpting tool to kind of push in the top portion in and underneath the belt, making it look like the belt is really holding that in. And to sell this look even more, I take a ball stylus, sliding down little slits on the top portion of it to make it look like folds. And as for Mojo Jojo's signature white boots, I take a chunk of clay that I make a little cone shape out of it before rounding out the back, cramming that onto the front of the leg, blending that into the existing nub, following that up with a piece of tapeworm over top. I then take another piece of skin flap, laying that over top of all of it, and blending it in together, making one cohesive piece. And to finish off the boot, I go ahead and cut a little triangle out of the back, carving out a little wedge part to make the heel of his boot. And before I went ahead and threw him in the oven, I did go ahead and stick in some armature wires on where his arms are going to be, and he's off to the oven. When he was in the oven, unfortunately, he did crack, which is no big deal. I just went ahead and filled in that crack with some Milliput. And while that's drying, we're going to go ahead and work on his arms. Taking that pre-existing wire, went ahead and built it up with some tin foil for just doing some size checking real quick on the body. And once I was happy with that, I went ahead and popped those back out and covered them with a real thin piece of skin flap. I'm not going to be too worried about smoothing these out too much because we are going to be covering them in fur. So this is mostly just to make sure the fur sticks to something. And after one last fit check, we can go ahead and start on his hands. As for how I like to make hands, I always pretty much do them the same way. I start off with a ball of clay that I flatten out into a disc. I then slice off two sides, but make sure I keep one of those pieces because I'm going to use that to make up the thumb. I then cut out little finger shapes before taking my fingers and pinching his fingers to make them look like fingers. And once I have a good length on those, we could go ahead and attach that piece that we saved as the thumb, and then we blend that all in together. And once we're happy with how the hand came out, we could go ahead and attach that back to the arm. I decided I want to give him fists instead, so I went ahead and took his fingers, rolling them over top of themselves to make, well, fists. And then I just blended in the rest of the clay, did the other hand off camera, and now we could just finish the rest of the gloves. Took a flattened out piece of skin flap, wrapping that around the back end of the wrist. I blend in that seam real quick. Cut off the excess clay, making it straight across the top. And we got ourselves some gloves. And after a quick bake, it's time to start giving this bad boy some color. Despite the fact Mojo Jojo is mostly covered in fur, we are still going to paint the black parts black just in case some of the fur doesn't cover all the spots. I'll have some black paint underneath to help cover my sins. Once I'm finished with that black coat, we could go ahead and paint the face with a watered down green base coat. And the reason why I make it sure it's really watered down is that way I can do multiple layers to make sure that we could retain some of those details in the face. After about 3 coats of that green, we could start painting the inside of the mouth with another watered down red wash. For this, I actually do like the way the gray kind of pushes through the red. I don't know, kind of makes it look a little bit more grotesque, I guess. After the mouth was done, I went ahead and just went over the teeth with a wet paintbrush to get some of that paint off the teeth. And to liven his face up a bit, I used that same red wash to go over the top of his nose and underneath his eyes just to bring a little bit more color. And to finish off his face, I went ahead and gave him a light dusting, a light dry brushing of that lime green. And as for the eyeballs, I'm going to go a little bit more detailed than normal, starting off with a bone white. After letting that fully dry, I then went around the eyeball with a red wash just to make them look a little more bloodshot. And as for the irises, I went ahead and used some dark brown paint, painting a small circle in the center of the eye, following that up with a lighter yellow version of that same brown, and then topping it off with a black pupil. I was pretty happy with how that came out, and the monkey shakes his head in approval, and we can move on to Mojo Jojo's brain cap. I start off by giving the entire thing a white base coat, and then after letting that dry, we could go ahead and paint that metal brim with a light silver mixed with some black paint to kind of darken it up a bit. And as for the little purple detailing that goes all the way around the helmet, I went ahead and took some purple paint and mixed it with that same silver that I used before. I kind of wanted it to shine a little bit more. And now that we're done painting the face, we could go ahead and start adding the fur. Now this was easily the hardest part of the entire build. This stuff's just really difficult to work with. I was trying not to get the glue inside the hair and it was just sticking to my fingers. It was a disaster, but pretty much what I did is I took the fabric and cut out a rough shape of where it was gonna lay. Then I took some fabric glue, putting it on that position, then laying that piece on top, using my X-Acto knife to help kind of push it into the position that I needed. And once I was happy with the position of all the hair, I went ahead and took some little scissors, giving him a haircut, trimming everything to make him look real nice and tidy. And with his hair all trimmed up, this is what we got so far. And then I went ahead and just did the arms off camera, but it was done the exact same way. It was just hard to film and do it at the same time, but yeah. And as for the body, we're gonna go ahead and keep it real nice and simple like the cartoon. We start his look off with a classic white Shein boot, followed up with a purple poncho snatched tight at the waist with a glossy white belt, finishing the look with a patent pending silver belt buckle. And with that, we have all the pieces done, and we can move on to the base. For the base, we're gonna keep it real nice and simple, and just try to make it look like it is part of his lab. Starting off with a 3x3 piece of foam, I went ahead and drew a little cross across it to make up paneling. Then using a ball stylus, I poke in little holes, and then coat the entire surface with that light silver that I used before. And after that, and a little bit of off-camera assembly, we're onto those JCPenney glamour shots. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and also leave a comment down below of who you would like to see me sculpt next. I'll see you next time.